one of the experiences we had in Port Harcourt as regards environment has to be black suit. Back in Port Harcourt, it's called Fire.
It is hard for people to read an article and just share it.
But we have the crocodile lookout as one of our locations. Yes. And in that location, you see crocodile, you see snake.
You take your empty bottles to something that is like an ATM, you put in the bottle and they cash you out, even if it's 4 naira.
If nature has a mouth, what will they say?
Yeah. One thing I actually learned from that is she used an eco-friendly disposable plate.
Even in that big grand event, nature was still, conservation was still infused into all of that.
Hi, welcome back to the 5th episode of the Naija Eco Vibes Podcast. And I remain Atsurate Excella Sanga, Esquire, the Legal and Policy Officer of Nigerian Conservation Foundation. Currently, we're in the heart of Lekki Conservation Center, and you can see around we have the trees, the greenery, and of course, the premium energy. So on this episode today, we have Mr. Shomi, who is going to introduce himself.
Hello, hi everyone. It's a beautiful day in the city of Lagos. There was this scare about the rain before, but of course the weather is all clear now. So it's a fine day to talk and have beautiful conversation around the podcast. Welcome once again to the Naija Eco Vibes Podcast, brought to you by the Nigerian Conservation Foundation, the premier environmental organization in Nigeria that drives issues around sustainable development and the conservation of life as it speaks. So you can follow NCF at NCF Nigeria across all platforms, at NCF Nigeria, and also Naija Eco Vibes Podcast at Naija Eco Vibes Podcast.
Show me this thing you just said about the rain. I mean, we're very skeptical this morning.
Tell me about it.
But you know the beautiful thing, now that the sun is out, we can. Are you feeling any bit of sun or anything?
No, I'm pretty much.
You know why?
Chill. Yeah.
You know why? The trees.
Tell me.
The trees have absorbed or sequestered all of these emissions and the heat, and that's why the weather is really cool. And that brings us to our topic for today, and I mean the whole conversation we're going to have, what's going to be centered upon. And we know very much so that, I mean, there is conservation, there is environmental matters, but then we know that the demography of Nigerian youth, their attention, everything is tilted towards social media, from TikTok to the, I mean, the reels on Instagram.
Make content.
You must put content in there, and today we are trying to, balance that dichotomy of creativity, conservation, and how we can use our creativity for nature. And I'm sure all of you are wondering, who are the guests? This topic is, who are the guests? Please, we need to give them drum rolls because we have powerful people here. We have a fantastic brand, people you love. You follow them on Instagram, you follow them on TikTok, Facebook. They've been at your screen and you love them. You love the content, you love what they push out for you. But there are some things we're going to discuss today that you don't really know about them, but they have it in them. So we are going to make welcome to the
drumroll,
indefatigable, solid, formidable, the house. Let's give them a round of applause.
You're most welcome.
So we're going to give them the chance to just introduce themselves. Yeah. They came in today complete.
Okay, so my name is Palibo. Thank you very much. I feel good to be here.
My name is David. I'm happy to be here.
My name is Tariel Tukini. I'm also blessed to be here.
Aww.
And my name is Chidima. Thank you for having us on your show.
Oh, thank you. The king. We are so humbled to have all of you, be here with us and to drive this conversation with us. And I know everybody's just wondering, the house, conservation, what's really going on? But before we delve into that, I mean, let's get to know our guests and, how did you guys come into content creation? You guys are young, beautiful, handsome men. I mean, what could have been the move, the push?
So, DeOuse is a vibrant family content creation brand. And we were originally based in Port Harcourt, but we had to move down here to Lagos because we wanted more. We felt like Port Harcourt was so much of a comfort zone. And things started getting better. And, at every given point in time, you see a need to change, you see a need to grow. So I think that's what brought us all the way down to Lagos. And so far, I can say it's been God. The journey has been bittersweet, because not like bittersweet, because for some reason there has to be balance. It can't just be sweet. So you get there are down times, there are happy times. So we thank God we're here. So basically, we're just energetic fellows trying to make life, a little bit lighter than it is. The world is crazy out there, and then people seem to take life too seriously. But yeah, in the house, we're just happy people taking life one day at a time, like we always do.
Definitely.
Definitely.
So just so you know that I did my due diligence, I came out in my Port Harcourt attire to rep you people at your back. I had the rest to say it. Area way. All right, thank you so much for that really, really background. So that means you guys originally started from Port Harcourt before you moved to Lagos. So how's the experience been? Coming from Port Harcourt, now you're in Lagos. What are the cultural shock maybe to your experience?
The experience moving all the way down from Port Harcourt to Lagos has been overwhelming. It's a huge cultural shift, as they say, because over there in Port Harcourt, it's a calm city. Yet it's calm. We've known life to be, quite easier than it is here. But moving down to Lagos, Lagos is fast paced.
Yeah, definitely.
Everybody is rushing. We don't even know where they're going to, but people are just always on the move, always wanting to get things done, and not to be. You can't talk about Lagos and then try to omit the truth. It has to be there, so it's just a whole lot for us. But above all, it's been beautiful because over here in Lagos, you get to see people that pay you for what you're valued. That's one of the greatest things we've come to realize in Lagos. Not to talk down Port Harcourt because that's my home, but that's our home. But to throw lights and try to say, okay, this is your crafts. Lagos people value you for your craft. You're worth 2 million naira. They don't pay you 500. They pay you what you're worth, and sometimes even more. So yeah, I believe Port Harcourt people are going to see this maybe.
They are going to.
So maybe you want to balance.
Yeah, stray bullets.
It's just the truth.
Is the truth, right? That's fantastic. So for Lagos is, as you said, is a bubbling city. The signage is not welcome to Lagos. So
this is
Lagos. That's like the first. See, you need to re-strategize. You need to refocus as an entry in here. So I completely agree with you. But also there are certain things that must have shaped your upbringing, especially from Port Harcourt. We're talking about environmental matters that you must have encountered firsthand or experienced while in Port Harcourt or even in Lagos. But you must have experienced any of these things.
In Port Harcourt, one of the experiences we had in Port Harcourt as regards environment has to be black suits. That's like the most popular thing anybody in Port Harcourt can relate. By black suit, it's like this charcoal-like stuff. It just drops. Yeah, it drops from the sky, and it's as a result of the. Okay, so let me use the term we use in Port Harcourt. Back in Port Harcourt, I feel like I'm being too serious. So back in Port Harcourt, it's called bonfire.
Bonfire.
So that's concrete. It's illegal
pipeline
vandalization, oil refining, and all that stuff. So it's as bad as when they go to the what's it called? They go to the what's the name again? When they go to wherever they cook it, it's usually in the bush like this.
Not our bush.
Not this bush, but the creek. That's exactly.
The creek.
So it's inside the creek, the mangrove. They cook it there. They have camps where they cook these things, and then you see there is this smoke that comes out, and that's what produces the black soot. So it really affects the environment. You're inside your house, and then you just see black stuff like charcoal-like stuff in your particles in your parlor,
sometimes in
your room. Sometimes you use your handkerchief and then you just do this.
Clean your face.
Black. Sometimes you go outside, you spread your clothes, and then you see it's black. So that's like one of the things we experience in Port Harcourt, the black soot thing. I've not really experienced it here in Lagos, but it's a thing in Port Harcourt. It's a thing in Port Harcourt.
Wow. Because I know I've seen pictures and videos from that, and when you just see people just show you different.
It's real.
It's real.
If you can see it on your face, it then means that people can actually inhale this cause respiratory problems.
Yes, it's a serious thing.
That's I don't even know how to say this, but that's one of the challenges we face in the environment. Is an environmental threat in its part, because that's a lot of effect of or result of bunkering, like you said, or illegal bunkering. oil refineries, all of that, exploration.
Yes.
Wow.
So adverse effects on the people and the
exactly,
environment.
And that's why we usually preach it in NTF or at Nigerian Conservation Foundation about planting trees, because sometimes these trees help to sequester or absorb some of those emissions and give us better and cleaner air. So now that you're coming from Port Harcourt and you have had all those things, please, I want you to breathe in as you're in this environment. We need to know the difference between that air that you breathe in Port Harcourt and this one. So let's go. Let's do one exercise. Go. Right. So let's go. 3, 2, 1. Read out. Tell me now. Tell me. You feel like
black suits.
There's no.
I know.
Okay.
Yeah. So again, like we mentioned before, reaching from this 70 hectares plot of land, regenerated area that gives premium oxygen. I know that this place is the yardstick, the standard for measuring air, clean air in Lagos and the country at large. So we have that here. So moving quickly from that direction to where I remember when Yapate was 2 days ago. So we're having, of course, our Walk for Nature rally coming up, and we go to this interesting department. I think that's the department for fine arts, and you could see how expressive they were. We didn't even want to leave. You could see people showing their expression, displaying art in its purest form. So animals. So somebody built a craft of the iguana. We saw different animals, even people in different shapes and sizes. And it just caught my attention, right?
Elephants,
you get, and so you could see, and it just brings to the fore that expression, creativity is all around us. And we have different ways of expressing it, of displaying, of speaking to it. And that brings us to the topic of today's conversation. Where we say, my creativity is for nature, and hence the thing where we have DeOuse, on board with us. They are, of course, we know they're a full-blown creative team, and they do different stuff. But we want to engage them.
Yeah, they are big boys, so these people here.
Tell me about it, and pick their mind and understand, from their lens, how creativity on one hand and nature on another hand, where does the marriage come in? And so, of course, if you ask me, at the heart of everything, creativity is storytelling. Right. And so when you ask, so how can is there a way that we can bring storytelling to improve the environment or make people see? Because when you talk about the environment, people are like, environment is in my business, is my concern. Before they embalm me, they here. After I'm here, it's going to be. But we realize that there are pressing issues, climate change all around. Like you mentioned, suits. This is one of the issues that we see every day. Yeah. Flooding in Lagos. I saw some videos where people's houses they were literally swimming from their homes. So how can we look at storytelling, as it were, and use to preach that message?
Yeah, I think storytelling, it's a creative tool we can actually use. When you tell stories, people it brings out this emotional connection to what you're saying, because it portrays in a different light. So if you use storytelling to preach the environmental issues and everything, people can relate more to it, and then it makes them they see the need to actually do things, or why they should do things, to that not to do things rather that might affect the environment and everything. So storytelling plays a very, very important role. Imagine you could just say flooding is an issue, like you just said, and someone will just think of it as normal. But when you tell a story of how maybe neighbor A didn't dispose of his refuse properly, and then in the end, neighbor B is suffering the backlash, his house is flooded, they can't go to work, people relate to you better here. So storytelling is a very, very good tool.
What you just said now, David, it brings us to the creatives again. Yes. So beyond content, or let's say content creation, those in the movie industry, music videos, so there fashion. Just let's say the creative industry in itself. Does that mean that there is a need for us to infuse environmental awareness in any of those videos? We see them even in I don't know, those of you that are Netflix people, you see them on those movies, right? Yes. Where it's a full-blown action movie, but somehow they just create a nexus between whatever is going on and because the truth is, climate change has come. We are all these environmental threats, just the way Kali just said now about suits in Port Harcourt. They are here. It's not a conversation that
it's not a distant thing per se anymore.
Exactly. They say global warming. The global warming is here. I can't even remember when last I actually experienced proper harmattan. So that climate change has come. Let's forget the English.
Yeah.
Climate don't change, right?
Yeah,
So how are we going to infuse that? Do you even think that, I mean, the word of content creator, because I'm speaking to you people because you guys are like content creators and influencers as well. So in putting out all of those beautiful content, is there a way we can marry environmental awareness into it? Is this something you've done before, or is something you're looking forward to doing, or something you intend to do? But the most important thing is that we agree on this podcast that it's important that there's a marriage of creativity and environmental matters. Is there a way we can put that in the storytelling? There's one video, sorry, before I answer, there's one video I saw of Chi and all of you. People went to one proper, Chi was the king in that kind of a thing.
Okay.
It was that one is a blockbuster.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, it was a full movie you guys had on your show. So I mean, is there a way we can put environmental matters on this story?
Yeah,
it's possible.
It's very possible.
It's very possible to try to incorporate the message in whatever you're doing. Say you're like a comedian or something, like a comedy niche. Comedy has a way of making information being passed not sound so severe, but at least it's still relatable. Yeah. So you could just make a light comedy about the bunker or the shit or something, a good joke, and then people don't feel so much attacked by the message, but then the message is effective. So maybe content creating like us, like we do. If you notice, in our now social media age, like content is something that moves really quick. So if you are, as a content creator, bring up these topics when you talk to your audience, like you normalize talking about these things with them, then the information is definitely passed.
And again, most people don't believe in scientific reports all the time. A lot of people don't believe in facts. But once there is a proper painting or an artwork or maybe a short film that portrays this particular story, telling this particular environmental, so people can easily relate to it. They feel like the weight of the message more when it is passed that way. Some people feel more of a hope. Some people get scared. Depends on what message you're passing. So that's another way.
So the message should be a bit relatable. And,
yes, very, very relatable.
No, those serious CNN.
It is easier to fly in the content space. It is easier because it is hard for people to read an article and just share it to a lot of people. But it is very easy for you to see a reel or a very creative campaign online, and then you just share to someone you know and you just want them to see the same thing.
Yeah.
It flies better that way.
Another thing, I think the social media world, it's the timing too. So I think for Instagram now, it's just like 60 minutes. Is it 60 or more than?
It depends on what you're putting out. They have reels, they have videos, they have...
It works now. Just to throw more light on how creatives can marry the whole environmental thing alongside storytelling. I'll give an example. There's this creator, Toby. He recently did a tour around the northern states.
I saw that.
Yeah, he recently did a tour around northern states. So that's a way you can show the environment to people. A lot of people don't even know what those environments do.
And they even exist at all.
They don't even know those places are in Nigeria, because there were some places where he showed on his social media platform that I had never seen before. I didn't even know those places existed in Nigeria. So that's a way to create awareness. Yeah, that's the way to tell stories. People that do vlog, you can legit do a vlog, and then maybe like we actually this like, let me put it out there first. So we're actually working on a situation where we tour states, get to know people's culture, their heritage, and then same as knowing the environment you get. So just imagine creatives going all the way down from Lagos to Kano State, going to just experiencing the climate change, the cold, experiencing the weather, something different from where you're coming from. You get to, when you go there, definitely what you've experienced there, you have to create something to let people know that, okay, this is how I experience. This is what I experienced in Jos. Yeah, so that's a way to like put it out there. That's a way to create awareness. That's how content creators can pass the message of the ecosystem, the environment, and everything. Yeah.
So I think that's a very fantastic idea. So you see now, you're having fun. Let's say that happens.
Doing your thing.
You're doing your thing. You're making your content, and like if Ali said, they're paying your money.
Actually, they are.
Okay,
And you get glued to things like that rather than reading a 10-minute article.
Exactly.
That makes sense. So now we are taking it now that the house members are going to incorporate environmental awareness in their content. And I mean, this is also a call out for creatives as well, that whatever you're doing, environment or environmental matters doesn't work in silos. It affects everything we do, from the fashion industry to music to content creation. So we implore that every other person out there, especially creatives, just use your platform to show and to show these environmental challenges and just throw more light on it so people become aware. Because sometimes they say what you don't know is bigger than you. Mm-hmm. So now we are in Lagos and we don't know that people in the north, they are probably facing flood. You think it's just you that is in Lekki. So that's the thing. So some of these things are things that we need to use our platforms to show, to harness, to incorporate, especially in movies. I see that Hollywood has really taken that one very, very far. Like, you watch a movie now, you see things about wildlife conservation. From Jurassic World, so you can even have an idea of all of these things. So they try to incorporate this thing because these is like our, this is your norm. They said there's a word they said during COVID. So this is now our norm or something. It's our new normal. That's the word I'm looking for. It's our new normal. Environmental matters and all of that. So that's fantastic. So now we have the house members taking it up as a challenge. So
we do our best.
You do your best.
Do our best. A lot of money, but we do our best.
She's very calm. See, we know you.
Do I look calm? I'm actually calm now. I'm a calm person.
Right. I was even going to bring her in and ask her, like, maybe of course, we know that they are big on content creators. I was going to also ask her first, like, so for you, of course, you must have rolled out tons of stuff and materials. For which one stood out for you? Like, if they wake you up at night randomly and just stop you, which of your contents just stood out for you? Like this one, if you can play it again and do it again, we'll do this one again. Which is that for
you? I think it was the content she talked about.
I knew it. The King.
Yes, the one I played, the King.
Okay.
Yeah, it was actually really fun. It was not really much about, it was not that serious. It was just a king trying to choose a groom for his daughter.
Okay.
Yes, and it was really fun because I had to play the role of a king as a woman.
So
I had to play. I had to play that role, and it was not really a normal thing for me, but I kind of fit myself into. Yeah.
Okay, that makes sense. Okay, now talking, of course, we're talking around content creation, and storytelling. I know that you guys are doing amazing stuff. I want to ask, how do you come up with those ideas? How is it that you guys just somewhere just like, oh boy, you don't come network. I saw guys were dancing and like the network don't stay, never stay. Is that how it works for you guys, or is it a process?
Most of the content we put out there are things that happen in the house.
Yeah.
Right. Most of them they just happen, and then Palibo happens to be with his phone and he quickly.
That's why he's always
camera,
behind camera.
And so they are mostly organic content, and then over time we've done stuff within ourselves and we've put them out there. People would react to them and they'll say, this your stuff is really funny. I think you should put your stuff out there for others to see. Or if you don't want others to see, just put it out there so whenever you want to watch your videos, you can go online and then watch your videos, reminisce on what has happened years back. And we thought of the idea, it was very nice. So we put out the first video and then people are loving it. People from different places are loving it. So I think that's just it.
Nice. I was thinking maybe there'll be one serious brainstorming session.
No, not really.
Sometimes we do. Sometimes
we're not at the time.
It depends on what we're trying to put out there. So someone can just like, okay, I relate to this topic this way.
Yes.
And then we just bring out different ideas and before but it's easy for us. It's just not one. It's not one person.
Yes.
So all of us will just bring little ideas and we have a full blown content to put out there.
So this is where that brainstorming, the serious brainstorming part comes in.
Okay.
So let's say, for instance, LCC reaches out to the house and say, in the house, we need you guys to create a story showcasing the environment or a story around the ecosystem. It can't just be that natural.
Yes.
Okay, because in order for you to get the attention of the audience, you need to sit down. We go back to storytelling. You need to come up with something innovative, something creative, something the audience would relate to. Okay, so that's where that brainstorming thing comes, because we've had brands say, we would need you to market this for us, we need you to advertise this for us, and when that happens, we we have to come to the table like this, sit, and then say, okay, this idea works, this one doesn't work. How do we make it work? How do we make it work? So the brainstorming actually works, but not all the time. So I feel like most of the times we do, it's a freestyle thing, it's an organic thing, and then when it gets official, the brainstorming.
Yeah.
So just speaking, I just remember one of their content. It was make me water.
We didn't brainstorm.
That was the sport moment.
Yes.
That was a trend.
Yeah, it was a trend. I mean, you guys, your own was so funny and was just really out there. So, I mean, kudos to the team. You guys do a lot of things. We see you. A lot of people see you as well, and we love your content. And we will be more appreciative if you integrate all of these things we're talking about. Just the way you said it. You promised.
Yeah, we'll do our best.
If you fail, the monkeys here. We'll call them.
You come for them.
Okay, so I mean, I recall that everybody is from Port Harcourt.
Yeah.
We okay. So I wanted to ask: are there like cultural things that while growing up, you saw your people? Because we have, for us Nigerians, we have our own traditional way of doing conservation. It's not all this European standard as well. That's good, but we have our own traditional way of also doing conservation. And I don't know if you experienced that. Let's say, for instance, there's one place like that. I don't know. Is it? I don't think that's Port Harcourt. I think it's in Imo. That they don't kill snakes. You say no. That's
that's Anambra State.
Anambra.
Yes.
Police is not just a police.
Funny thing is, I stumbled on a video yesterday. I think somewhere in Ibadan. I saw the video. I think it was on BBC. I'm not so sure now. Where there was a community. They have a river or a stream. Fish. Then you cannot take a fish from there. I don't know if anybody has seen it.
I saw that.
The woman went as far as saying, if you take a fish from there and you kill, you will not be able to cook it. It will not even get done.
Yes,
and all of that stuff.
Yes, I've seen that online.
So are there things that like that? So
yes, there's one in Kula. Kula is a place in River State. Okay, so there's one in Kula, snakes. Even if you wake up and you see a python in your house, your room, your garage, wherever, you don't kill it. If you kill it, then you have to go through a long process of doing a proper burial and appeasing the gods.
That's the same thing in Anambra State.
A lot of people still believe in these things up to date.
I think Idemili in Anambra State.
Yes.
So what they tell you is, if you see the python, that you don't kill it. Maybe if you have a visitor in your house, they just see it as, it came to say welcome.
Yeah.
So you don't need to get scared or anything. You just call someone to take it out. Yeah.
Just imagine me waking up to python and say,
hearing this thing on the surface, they sound fetish, and you'd be like, but that was those are the things that our ancestors or our forefathers used in preserving our animals. So I'll just tell you something for a fact. So we're in the LCC now, in the Heart of Lekki Conservation Foundation, which is sponsored by Nigerian Conservation Foundation. So everything here is regenerative. Nobody planted these trees. The fish, the crocodile, we have other animals. People think it's just monkeys are here. There are other animals.
Like snakes.
Snakes of various species.
Really?
Don't go bite me at the protecting.
So if you see snake, the snake came to tell you welcome. So I mean, that way it helps to preserve and conserve our environment. And there's something we do tell our audience is that all animals are very important to the ecosystem.
Yeah.
So it's not that, yes, this one is dangerous, this one is less dangerous.
Including mosquitoes.
Actually,
I need to know because
so even mosquitoes they play a role. So
really?
Flowers.
I was going, thank you.
Wow.
This is a conservationist though.
I'm telling you, it will shock you. The mosquitoes play a role.
There's only that female one that looks like Ichi.
And so it's also even interesting to know that not all mosquitoes are after your blood. Like you said, pollination. Some are just flowers, and they do that transplant.
Are you actually serious?
I
don't think it's the female. I don't see it that way.
How do you differentiate the female from the male?
Exactly.
One is
So
bigger.
if we see a mosquito, we don't kill it.
Kill it, kill it, bro. You have to.
But a very interesting
Status,
point.
right?
Yeah.
That's the thing. So again, like this cultural angle we brought, to the conversation is. So I need to even ask this very important pressing question. Of course, we talk about creativity. Is it just limited to entertainment alone? I'd love to just get our angles, our take on this.
I don't think creativity is limited to just entertainment.
Yes.
Whilst entertainment brings joy, I think it's high time people need to know that creativity, putting up content out there, is not just something you do in your pastime. it's something you can use to influence what's happening around us. So you can use creativity to as a power tool.
Thank you.
Power. So you can use your comedy, your art, whatever you're doing, use it to pass a good information that impacts the way we treat our environment, because it affects everyone, not just one person. It affects everyone.
Actually, I don't know if you can remember when fashion designers, they combine different Ankara materials, to make skirt or gown.
Yeah.
So that is more like a DIY process.
True.
So that is also showing people that you can make use of the waste, because most times when they make clothes, they throw away most of those remnants. But making videos like that and putting it out there, that's you also educating people that you can also make use of that. And then this, our world biggest jollof rice that Hilda just did. So I have a food brand, and one thing I actually learned from that is she used an eco-friendly disposable plate.
Yeah,
Right.
Instead of the normal plastic plate.
Yes.
It's also entertaining, watching her make that big pot of jollof rice, but I also learned one or two things from.
So even in that big grand event, nature was still, conservation was still infused into all of that. So even everybody, so even the teachers from their own ways. I saw one interesting video, one documentary that Nigerian did. So I think somewhere in East Africa now, where a teacher, used her space, her voice with a kid. I don't know if that's the early story. I don't want to mix it up. That's so when she does use nurturing a child and growing, and that story just became very big.
Even through movies, there's one movie that was produced in, I think, 2016.
Right.
Oloibiri. I don't know if I pronounced that. Where they, it was more like an action.
Yes, the first place oil was actually found.
It's more like an action movie, but we could see how the oil spillage affected the community, the air, their health, even their water. And so that's also a way of passing out information and bringing action.
Is also, I think it's having a campaign, is it a campaign? But it's having something as regards the environment, where monthly he calls out youth, his rat tail, as he calls them, to come out and then they do environmental, sanitation, training, and all that stuff. So I think these are ways you can, inculcate environment.
That man is not even an entertainer.
Yes,
he's more of like an activist.
It doesn't necessarily need to be entertainment. It's just, we're having this conversation now because social media is now a thing. This is like the easiest way to pass out information from the comfort of your home or wherever you are. If it were to be then, imagine very dark man gathering youth all the way from Abuja to Port Harcourt to Bigland. But all the way from Abuja, you can just make a video and then pass the message across, telling people that this is how you can do
and
this,
it makes it more relatable,
to help the environment and to help the ecosystem. So I think
that's fantastic. So that means that your creativity for nature is not just about entertainment.
It's not just
for
about
everybody. As long as you're a human being, that you have talent.
You're creative.
Exactly.
So whatever it is you are doing, you can find a way to embed and care for nature, so to speak, even what you are doing.
They also have creatives that turn disposable bottles into flower vase. I don't know if you've seen that.
Recycling of plastic.
Talking of, there's an initiative that we have here at the Nigerian Conservation Foundation where we do some upcycling, with schools. And some of this plastic, like you mentioned, upcycling. If you go
into the reserve, you see different
we even have them here.
So it's to sort out, the most important thing is sorting out the waste, and then you can give it to those recyclers. We had recyclers on our podcast last week, and that's something they major in. We gather this, and they pay. So plastic now is money. It has been monetized. So you gather a lot of plastic.
So I can still hold my bottled water containers.
Perfect. And then you give it to them. They give you money.
I also saw one video. I think it's now in Abuja. Before they do it abroad, where you take your empty bottles to something that is like an ATM. You put in the bottle and they cash you out. Even if it's 4 naira. I saw a video and they just recently introduced it in Abuja. So I think if something like that is in Lagos, it would be really nice. Yeah,
that's really my creativity
for nature. I mean, I think this conversation is very key. So there's a shift. There's been a shift from where corporate social responsibility, like the one we're talking. The first thing before now, if they tell you environmental matter, the next thing you think of is sanitation.
Yes, sanitation.
Let's go and clean the gutter.
That's true.
Start dodging, cutting corners. I'm not going
Yes.
Number one form in Nigeria.
I'm telling you. So if they even give you one powerful position around there, the next thing you want to go and do is clean market.
Yeah.
But back then we used to have I think it's once every month that they do
Saturday, first Saturday
sanitation.
Yeah, and
The
back
first
then it
Saturday
was
of
a
every
big
month.
thing because every sanitation day you see roads, no cars,
Yeah,
labor on the road. It was like a very serious thing. People are looking forward to sanitations to go
And
outside and have
our
fun.
roads, the public places, they were clean then.
Yes.
You have breathe
I feel like they
fresher
should bring
air.
that back too.
I think some
Honestly.
areas.
And I think then if I don't know if they use police or which people.
Yes.
They move around in
Yes.
their
Yes.
buses, and if they see you outside without walking or doing
If
something,
you're not carrying
they
any
just-
or something.
yeah.
visit your compound.
That's fantastic. So I mean, for the sustainable development world, there's been a shift from this corporate social responsibility to something they call the CSV, which is creating shared value. So they are saying in your business, just the way we are saying, your creativity, you must find a way to integrate sustainability in it. She mentioned something about fashion, those pieces that they
Yes.
so that tailor will not thief your 6 yards. The one that remains that you say
Carry
can
it.
carry it. Then
You
they
can
pack
use it to
up.
make a simple tote
Yeah,
bag or something
even
like
those trousers,
hairband.
they are even blending with
Yes.
ashirake and all of those. So
Yes.
it nothing goes for waste. Fine dress you make for probably dinner or something, and then you have all of those stones. You don't want to wear it again now, but you have to now sort of redesign it or resell it. I think Vicky James does something like that. After a while, she just auctions some of these things out. Even I think Tubo does that as well. So they thrift. They say thrift is so bad that we should come back to our own natural pattern, our dire that they are making. Yeah, that thrifts, they are polyester. They just don't.
Yes.
So I think Tubo was making mention of that. I mean, it's actually affecting the fashion industry, but. That being said, it means that everybody has a role to play in this environmental.
Yes,
so
exactly.
whether you're a business person, you're selling bolly somewhere at the roadside in Port Harcourt, what are you using to serve your people? Is it styrofoam or plastic? Or you're using something that's like a parchment paper?
And
or,
that's Bali. When I got to Lagos, I found out that the yam peel, that's the back, that's what they used to make amala. So imagine peeling your yam and so that's just
actually, someone actually said that waste is actually limited knowledge. The word waste. That actually nothing is a waste.
There are countries that import waste from other countries.
Can you imagine?
Yes, you check. There are countries. Denmark does it.
Wow.
So you see, when she talked about those clothes and Kara nothing going to waste. I remember them World Cleanup Day recently, and we try to use our creative materials to just remind people that nothing goes to waste.
Yeah.
Because when you go to your tailor and you leave, you just take your clothes. You don't ask about the remaining parts of the clothes. What's happening with that? Somebody just pack it and go and dump it somewhere. But again, all of that can gradually find a way to change that narrative. And again, it's important I also still remind people, of course, our podcast is proudly sponsored and powered by the Nigerian Conservation Foundation. And you can follow at NCF Nigeria. And also you can follow our podcast handles at Naija Eco Vibes
Podcast. On all our social media platforms.
Tell them.
And please also follow the house. The house members are also with us here. We should not even be you already have the followers.
You are playing with senior men.
We're not even there yet.
We are still
They
doing.
find money. So who are we?
Follow us on social media, DeOuse, the house, on all social media platforms.
Are there people actually in this space of using content? Because everybody seems to follow the path of how them Sabi News and Mr. Macaroni that the niche I'm talking about. I don't want to use my mouth to say, but that kind of niche or the gossip niche.
Yes.
But are there people actually doing this environmental thing, including your as your work colleagues or something?
I think there are, but there are very few. So maybe out of 100 you can see like 2. That's few. So it's a virgin land.
I know one.
Right.
I know one in Lagos. Nike. Her name is Nike. She always, if you play her video, you always say, "Hi, I'm Nike, your favorite travel influencer." So she travels to different places and then she tries to put out there different cultures and more about traditional things, not the regular.
It's a virgin land, so I feel a lot of creators, if you're a creator out there, this is like your opportunity, this is your chance to think this direction. If you've not started content creation yet, and then you're thinking, what can I do? How do I get into content creation? This is your sign. So this is a virgin land, or a virgin ground, as they say. You should just exploit it.
I love that. Even myself, I'm thinking that maybe I should on my TikTok and start.
So as we were just discussing, an idea came. Imagine like creating an AI is like this AI now, so it's easier to create animation. So imagine creating animation and then talking about the environmental issues, but from the angle of the animals. Imagine the birds complain about the shit, just the way we're complaining about the
Oh yeah.
Yes.
About waste. Yes.
The typical question: if nature has a mouth, what will they say?
I knew that these are in their house. These are they just bring those ideas. And I got those drop.
Content creators, please get to work.
David, please, we are going to collaborate on that. NCM and DeOuse will work on this.
That's true. That's very innovative. If nature had a voice,
what would they say? Yes.
What would nature say?
Just come from different angles, and then nature keeps complaining.
Even trees that are being cut down.
The trees that deforestation.
Yes.
Like you are cutting me every time.
Like all the time.
And
don't you want fresh air?
Because children relate more to pictures and cartoons. So imagine the tree talking. Yeah. Know that. So it's quite innovative.
See ideas are dropping here.
Maybe we should run this as a trend or a challenge. Right. I mean, your creativity for nature. My creativity for nature. And then you think about what you're doing presently and how you can interwove that with nature and conservation. Sharp. David, you're conservation.
Sharp. Are you sharp? You should not feel we don't bring her network. See signal.
All right. So what would be like your advice? We have about 4 people here. So what would be your advice or your mainstay? We call it a call to action that you want to tell your audience out there. It could just be 1 or 2 words that you want to just give out there as your word of advice or your take home. Everybody, they have their audience. So what will you say to your audience?
Quick word to my audience. I think this is the time to embrace nature more.
Yeah.
This is the time to be out. This should cause like an awakening in your spirit to like focus more on nature. If you need to plant trees, save nature, do anything that supports nature. Don't be one of those people that pollutes the environment.
Exactly.
It starts with you. The change starts with you. So please try as much as you can to push the nature narrative positively.
Well done.
I would say to the audience out there, Earthlings, this is our home. A problem you're causing is a problem for all of us. So let's just all work together and then let's save pets.
Okay, mine is going to be more of an advice. There are a lot of people that want to go into this creative space right now, and I feel like we should focus more on amplifying, right? Not exploiting, especially when you go to new communities, new environments. It's very necessary to like reach out to the elders in those environments, reach out to the leaders, so you can get like the core knowledge of whatever you want to put out there, because it's very, very necessary. Most people distort some traditional knowledges and use them to make their own trend. So when it comes out, some people be like, this is this tribe and this is this tribe. They are not even sure because it's not the same. So people just go there and they change it. So I mean, we should just be more authentic and then pass out the right message when we do this creation of content in different places.
Fantastic.
Just like what Toki said, for those into the entertainment, in fact, I'm not going to limit it to just those. If you have a smartphone, create more videos about your environment. Your neighbor that is trying to trash, things into the gutters, teach them how to, not to do that. And then if you're in a community where they like cutting down trees, you can explain to them the benefits of having such things around and also planting more trees. By making a video and trying to educate people, you're creating more awareness.
Yeah. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. For me, my own stay, my mainstay is this. Content creators, use your creativity for nature.
Yeah.
The house, they promise to champion this. Please, what we also speak about is collaboration. I think Toki was tilting towards that line about collab. You don't need to start from the beginning. You can collaborate with people.
NGOs,
Exactly. If you're thinking of NGOs, I heard you, Pali, we are here, Nigerian Conservation Foundation. But I mean, I'm just even saying that amongst you creatives, I mean, you can collaborate, like you said, that's talking about somebody, maybe I don't know, somebody from another tribe, tilting towards what Turkey was saying, so that the information will be authentic. You go to this community and then you see that, this is what they actually do. You're not distorting their because our traditional knowledge is also very key that we pass it down to the next generation.
Very interesting.
So thank you very much. So before we leave, we have a tradition that we do here. Okay, so we have this board. It's like our Hall of Fame.
It's like I was here.
And
when you're
rep
leaving
that
hostel,
you are
leaving
actually
school,
here.
then you can write for
You
the
can
house.
put the
Yes,
house.
then also everybody can have their the individual.
Just a little thing.
Yeah.
You know those days when we were in secondary school?
Traditional.
Like you sign out, right? On the wall, right? I was here.
You and,
Toki.
yes, can use this mark.
Sorry, let me go.
Okay.
Giant signature with that one.
It's like all of you are signing. This family thing is strong. All of you are signing
not
the
signing,
same
right?
place.
Oh.
Oh, fantastic.
Sorry, I wanted to ask something. So
Okay.
you said you guys have snakes here. So there is this thing I saw online. They said it's not all snakes you see and you just run away. That looking at them, you would know the one that is poisonous and the one that is not poisonous.
Oh, wow.
So how do we they said if you check the neck,
Yes,
there
size
is
of the
this
triangular and
yes.
square kind of. Yes, I think
Do you have
I've
that?
Is it true?
No, they
Triangular
bite, but
doesn't-
the one that doesn't have
Yeah.
venom, the poisonous
triangular
venom.
doesn't have
Yes.
venom.
Yeah.
So I know.
So how is it? Do I have to tell the snake, please wait, let me check. Let me check if you're poisonous.
So there's something I observed working in this environment and being with nature is this: you get into the reserve now. You're not troublesome. Like you did not come to attack them. They just look at you and mind their business. I'm not joking.
Including monkeys.
Yes.
Monkeys that are troublesome.
No, it's not my certificate. It has happened. So we have
come around when you have food or they know they are.
you know
holding
this is a 78
Wow.
hectares of land. So we have various locations. Let me not spill our secret too much. But we have the crocodile lookout as one of our locations.
Yes.
And in that location, you see crocodile, you see snake. They are there as your person. So they just see you and then they just pass by.
No,
And you know one thing. So here now is, like I said, is regenerative. So nobody actually brought anything here. They came here. So this is their natural home.
nature do its thing. Yes.
so they don't see people.
They came here.
So they don't see people as you know,
as threats,
invading their privacy or something.
But if you go there like you're coming with a spear to come and kill,
that's it, yes.
even the fish, we don't touch anything. Everything is just nature
Beauty
is
of Lekki
happening here.
Conservation Center here.
This is just like a very good example of nature. So we usually have this little token, from a very eco-friendly, that we give our guests just to show appreciation for coming here to have this, to dissect these conversations with us. And we really had so much fun discussing this with you people today. The house members, you're always family to come in here. So please just make welcome your boxes. We love you to unbox, so please.
Nothing to just look
Sorry.
beside them and find the interesting package. I don't want to do it like ultimate search. I'll not find it.
Thank you.
All right, sorry.
This is really nice.
Yes, you can. Oh,
Do some unboxing for us.
I actually thought I was going to say.
Okay, unboxing.
yes.
ASMR. Yes.
Oh wow!
Oh, wow.
See my T-shirts. It's beautiful.
Oh,
Thank you.
Oh wow, I love this bottle. It's so
Thank you.
nice. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Yes.
Wow.
This is beautiful.
Naija Eco Vibes.
I like that white. There
Shirt.
Wow, this is nice.
you go.
Thank you so much.
I don't want
You're welcome. Like I wanted to.
it's beautiful.
Now good day.
Thank you
so much.
Thank you so much. And it's been a wrap, ladies and gentlemen. See you next time on the same channel. the same station. Stay tuned. Tell a friend to tell a friend.
To
Use
tell a
your
friend.
creativity for nature and to save nature.
Yes.
And also follow us across our social media platforms
like that,
at NCF Nigeria and also at Naija Eco Vibes Podcast. Please remember, put out your comments. Who do you want to see next? Do you want to see them again? Just let us know and let us keep the conversation and the action going simultaneously. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. I remain Tura, your host, and
I am sure. But I was thinking before we go, we could also hold a call, like my creativity is for nature kind of thing, and those that kind of shout, and we end it on that note.
Should I give a call? 3, 2, 1, go. My creativity is for nature.
Tell a friend to tell a friend.
Tell a friend to tell a friend.
Thank you
Thank you
so
so
much.
Thank you.